Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the Shine and Thrive Photography Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Monica, and I'm going to get right down to business right now because there is a problem in the photography industry. And I don't know if you're aware of it. You might be aware of it, you might not be aware of it, but there's a problem that I'm here to solve in our photography industry. And that is that generally speaking, more often than not, photographers are underpaid and overworked. And if you haven't hit burnout yet, I'm here to help you future proof yourself against it because I promise you, you don't want to end up there. I've been there myself. So if you've listened to episode 116 of how to figure out your dream hourly rate as a photographer and make it happen for yourself, you know already that 7 years ago, I was working myself to the freaking ground every single week, only to realize that I was actually making less than minimum wage. So I was literally an underpaid and overworked photographer. I know exactly what that feels like. It felt so defeating. Like, I used to think that if I just put the grind in and the effort in, that one day I would reach that freedom I wanted for myself in my life for being my own business owner. We set out to become photographers because number one, we love photography. And then we're like, well, I want to have my own business and have freedom in my life to do what I want when I want, create my own schedule, all of that. Little did I know that that's kind of not how not how it worked out for me, and that I didn't have all the answers of how to actually make that happen for myself, because it turns out that I was actually being the worst boss to myself over and over again, year after year. Like year after year, I was not giving myself evenings off to relax. I was not giving myself vacation. And I mean like true vacation. Like I would travel, but when I traveled, I still had to find ways to work. I still had to be on emails. I still had to market. I still had to edit, all of those things. I was not giving myself quality time with family and friends. And I was always telling myself, once I get there or finally accomplish this, that's when I'll be able to rest. But that time never friggin' came because I kept taking the same actions over and over again. I changed nothing, and so nothing changed. And this was all while I wasn't actually making the income that I needed for myself. Again, I was making less than minimum wage. And also, I'm not a fan of the term just work hard, because if working hard would mean automatically being successful in life, and when I say successful, I mean whatever success means to you, because everyone defines it differently, right? Then so many more people around the world would be more abundant in this world. Because you know for a fact there are so many people out there that are working so hard day after day, 12 to 15-hour grinds, like so many people. And this is people across the board in different um economic places, all of that. Like that you could just see it and feel it in our world. It's such a fast-paced world, stress, burnout. Everyone's saying, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, right? And this is pretty much being chronically stressed and chronically exhausted. So that's kind of where I found myself. But what I've come to realize 7 years ago when I found this about myself is that it doesn't have to be that way. Like my life doesn't have to stay that way and I don't have to settle. And you can create a life based off of your own design. It's like building a custom dream home, right? There is a way to do that. That is possible. So why can't we build our own custom dream life? And I've come to discover that it's by working smart and intentionally in your business that can create the life by design that you want. And it's all about being proactive instead of reactive. Proactive meaning planning ahead, being intentional. Reactive is when you're in the moment, just being like, I have to do this on my to-do list, this, and like just constantly reacting to what life is throwing your way instead of like taking a pause and like looking at it overall and seeing the decisions that you're making every day, right? There's a huge difference in lifestyle if you're being proactive versus reactive. And thinking ahead, making a clear goal for yourself of what you want your life to look like, and then taking the steps to make that happen for yourself is how you can be proactive about that. So for me personally, my dream was to work part-time hours in the future when kids came into the picture while making my dream income for myself so that I can have the freedom to do what we wanted to do when we wanted to do without the stress weighing on us of needing to hustle for money. I grew up in a household living paycheck to paycheck. It was such a stressful environment, and I personally never wanted to like have that ever again. Of course, I've mentioned this on the podcast before. Like I actually had an amazing childhood, like how my parents loved and cared for me and how much like fun we had and the activities we did. Like I was like, we're the Three Musketeers. Like it was incredible, right? But every person growing up has like, we have the pitfalls in our life and our childhood. And that really left a mark on me. And I promised myself I would never, ever raise my kids in a stressful household, whether it was for having to work too much and not having enough time, quality time together, or the stress around finances and money. My goal, my dream was to have an abundance of time and money at the same time. And so, if you listened to episode 118, the title of it was Shooting 32 Weddings This Year, Working Part Time Hours, and Making My Full Time Dream Income While Being a New Mom, How I Do It. That was the title. You know that this year in 2022, I'm literally living that dream that I created for myself in my mind all those years ago. I'm working part time hours while making $300,000 in revenue this year, working part time hours. And by the way, my take home income is six figures. My take home income is six figures because there's a difference between revenue and income, right? And this is all while being a new mom. So I made my dreams come true intentionally. This wasn't an accident. It was one small step at a time each day. The beauty of the compound effect. And if you listen to that episode as well, you also know that outsourcing was the catalyst in my life and business that shifted everything for me. It was literally that like drop in the water that created a positive ripple effect everywhere in my life. I have so many success stories from my OMI students that had the same ripple effect in their life. So if you haven't yet listened to episode 115, 117, 119, then those are just some of my student stories that you'll definitely want to listen to. So you can see that outsourcing is possible for so many different photographers in different situations. And also, I wanted to play a story, a little voice note for you from my student Jen, who literally sent me a voice note DM thanking me for the program and the shifts she was able to create for her in her life. So I'm going to play that for you here from my phone. And of course, I'm sharing it with permission from her. So I'm really grateful that she was open to me sharing it because that way, positive ripple effect, more people can see what's possible for them. So here it is.
Hello, beautiful. I just decided to message you because I thought it was interesting. Obviously, I did your course this past year, and I have outsourced every single wedding to my editor who's in the States. And I cannot even begin to describe the difference in my energy, my mood, my stress level since outsourcing my weddings. Every single one, no questions asked. I know I still have a few more to go, but the fall is when I struggled the most because I just would be trying to catch up and have a good turnaround time and working myself into the ground with 3 children and a studio and photographing a million other things besides weddings. So just wanted to say I'm so glad I took the leap and did your course. And it just feels so good. And I don't even focus on the amount that I'm paying my editor. I send her my PayPal. I don't even think twice about it because that time that I'm not sitting in front of a desk for every wedding, that time's like irreplaceable when it comes to my free time and children. And, here I am on a Monday night and I just got out of a bubble bath. And that would never happen in September and October. I would have to shower and quickly get back to editing or go to bed early so I could be up first thing in the morning. Anyways, I'm sure you've heard lots of these stories from other photographers, but I just thought that I would share mine. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. And then this was my response to Jen.
Oh my gosh, Jennifer. Wow. Like, this makes me so happy to hear, especially because I remember you participating in the support calls. And I just remember your energy feeling so heavy, so stuck, so scared to still like make the leap and like really take on the identity of someone that believes in outsourcing, that it could work and that it could be easy for you and effortless and all of that, right? So holy crap, I'm so proud of you. Like, you created this new life for yourself, and I love that you just popped out of a bubble bath. Like, that's incredible. I'm so happy you have so much more time for yourself, your kids, your family, everything. Like, oh, I'm so grateful for you sharing. Seriously, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. I get so emotional just here. Like anytime I get a DM like this, it like chokes me up. I get so emotional because I just remember, like I mentioned in the message, like I just remember how heavy and stressed she felt. And I was just like rooting for her. And like at the end of the day, I can give her all the how to steps, right? And I can give her all the information, but she has to actually take action and make those changes herself. And I'm always rooting for my students and like, yes, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. And doing all I can to support them and to hear her say finally that she moved through the fear, the uncomfortability, and she made it happen for herself is just like the most rewarding feeling. And I get so emotional hearing that, especially because now that she's a mom, because time is so fleeting for us all of us, whether we have kids or we don't, right? We all have bucket list things in our life, and we all have things that we feel like could be missing in our lives, and we don't have the time for them because we're so focused and sucked in by work and making money because we need to pay the bills and survive and not feel stressed, right? All of the things, right? But at the same time, time is so fleeting. And at the end of the day, money and work shouldn't be the be all end all, the thing that matters the most, because then we are out of harmony. And now that I'm a parent myself, I see before my eyes how quickly Ben is growing up. And I want to encourage as many parent photographers as possible to really take a true look at their life and be honest with themselves, not the bullshit like, oh, I'm fine, I'll be fine when the season's over, when whatever. No, like, stop bullshitting yourself. I know I was bullshitting myself. I did that. Like I mentioned before, I was like, oh, when I finally finish this editing or this project or this season. But like, again, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And how much longer do you want to be on this never ending cycle of overwork and burnout and being underpaid? Right. So, my question to you is, are you really happy with the results that being an underpaid and overworked photographer are creating for you in your life, for your family? Right. And another question I have for you is this, and I want you to really think about it when I ask you the question. My question to you is, how can you work and live a happier life as a photographer? So if your brain right now drew a blank or answered that question by saying, I don't know, I don't know, then you are literally meant to listen to this episode right now. And I meant to share the step by step how with you. The universe has a beautiful way of leading you to exactly where you're meant to be at times, right? And so we were meant to connect in this moment. So, because if you don't know how to work and live happier as a photographer right now, when do you think that you'll magically come up with the answer in the midst of feeling overworked? Like, do you even have the capacity to figure it out, right? And if you're thinking right away, because I know my photographers, I know what you're thinking, because I thought the same way. If you're literally thinking, I'll just wait for off season to do all that figuring out, great, right? I get it. Off season, slow season, right? There's so much more opportunity for growth, all of that learning. But just know that it took me 4 freaking years of my own time to perfect my outsourcing workflows, since there was no one there to teach me the how. And now I'm literally handing them over to you on a golden platter. Like, this is your opportunity for the fast track. You can get your systems in place much sooner, much quicker than I did. So now that you know what I do, to have the work-life harmony I've always wanted and dreamed of. And the what is outsourcing, right? That's what I do. That's the catalyst. And why I do it. And my why is to have more time freedom and financial freedom in my life so I could do what I want, when I want, with who I want. I am so excited to have the opportunity to take you by the hand and show you the step-by-step how. And I know so many of you have been waiting and waiting for the doors to my Outsourcing Made Easy program to open all year, since I only accept new students once a year. So here it is. The program is officially open for enrollment today. Oh my God, I'm getting choked up. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you to take this first step to more time freedom, mind freedom, creative freedom, lifestyle freedom, and financial freedom. It's all so interconnected, and outsourcing is the first step to all of that. So, for those of you that have been waiting and asking me, and I know you're ready to sign up today. So, if you're ready to sign up now, you can go to sarahmonica.com/freedom to do so, and you'll get instant lifetime access. So you can literally sign up, start learning, going through the program, start implementing, or you can also wait till off season so that your following 2023 season can be smooth and you can have your smart workflows in place, all of that. And yeah, I also know that so many of you reached out to me and you're like, Sarah, I regret not signing up last year. Like I should have, like I had this feeling, but I was just like scared and uncomfortable. And I just didn't want to make the investment then. And then the season hit me and I got burnt out again. I'm overworked. And they're like, I regret missing a whole year of my life again. So for those of you that went through that, just know that it's okay. Maybe you were meant to learn some other lessons along the way, but just don't make the same mistake again. And you know what you need now. You can clearly see it. So again, go to sarahmonica.com/freedom. I'm so excited to support you. But this episode isn't over. I know you probably want to hear more about the program before signing up. So definitely keep listening. I'm going to break down exactly what's included in OMI in the rest of this episode for you. Okay, so I'm actually going to open it here right in front of me. And yeah, so I'm going to share with you pretty much just like a quick overview of what's included. So you literally get to like log in with your info, then you have this beautiful dashboard in front of you. There's a 3-minute welcome video welcoming you and letting you know exactly where to start, how to start. It shares with you where to join the exclusive Outsourcing Made Easy community with other OMI students, where you can ask questions, feel not so alone on the journey. You're literally supported by other people going through the same thing that you are. You have an entire course workbook that you can download in one click of a button. And a lot of my students actually send it out to be printed and like bound together. And then they get it in the mail within like a week or a couple of days, depending on how fast that whatever place creates the workbook, prints the workbooks. And then they have a workbook right in front of them to stay organized, keep them accountable. I have that all included for you. And the course comes with 6 official modules. So module 1 is the foundation to your success. And that really lays down exactly everything you need to know so that moving forward, when you're applying everything you're learning, you have that strong mindset foundation down to be successful in your outsourcing journey. Module 2 is called the Art of Working Less and Making More. So this is how I show you the proof points, which if you aren't convinced yet from all the recent podcast episodes I shared, this is where I break down even more how you are able to work less hours and make more money. Literally the dream, right? Module 3, this module helps you plan what to outsource first. So if you're like, I don't know what to outsource first, like I literally lay out the pros and cons of everything, and you get to get clarity on where to start, because I always encourage my students, don't start with everything. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start with one thing and slowly make your way through. And eventually, even within a year, you could get to finishing outsourcing everything and having everything in place, all your systems in place. And then module 4 is your outsourcing culling framework. So this teaches you my step-by-step process system that's the most efficient that I've developed for you to outsource your culling successfully. And even if it takes you 2 hours to cull a wedding, 3 hours, or 30 minutes to cull a session, just know that that time is so valuable and it compounds on itself. So the more time you save, the more time you're able to just have to live your life freely. And I even outsource tasks that take me 10 minutes, 20 minutes, like it all adds up. And as you know, your to-do list adds up to you having 12-hour workdays, maybe 6, 7 days a week, right? So everything adds up and everything helps. And yeah, so that's what module 4 teaches you. Module 5 is your roadmap to successfully outsourcing editing. This is a big one, very important one, because obviously, as we know, editing can take up the most amount of time as a photographer, right? And for those of you that actually enjoy editing, I also teach you that you can just outsource part of your editing. Like you don't have to outsource all of it. Like the beauty of it is that you can create your own unique outsourcing workflows that work for you, and you get to keep the tasks that light you up and let go of the tasks that drain you and that you find boring, that you procrastinate. But for those of you that hate editing, like you can outsource all of your editing, and then it just gives you so much more time back too. And even if you outsource part of your editing, you're still, you're still going to gain so much more time. So that one is that one. And then module 6, one of my favorites because it can be very, very effective in your outsourcing strategy. How to successfully hire a virtual assistant in just 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, my virtual assistant has been with me for 3 years now. And I had another one before that for about a year. And it's just like game changer. How much time and mental bandwidth it saves you. And it's just the most incredible experience to have them. And I even share in OME that you can actually even train your virtual assistant how to edit and call for you if that's the direction you want to take as well. So there's just so many options. And then I do have a bonus module in there, and it's called Passive Income by Outsourcing Your Album Design. So I have trained my virtual assistant how to literally design all my client albums, how to communicate with them back and forth with changes, all of that. So all I have to do is just sell an album, and I just do that virtually. They either order it initially in their initial collection, wedding collection, or I upsell it after the wedding when I send them the sneak peeks if they didn't order one. And I just have a video showing them the albums, and that's all I do. I don't do any in-person album sales, none of that. And 50% of my clients, and I had 32 weddings this year, ordered an album. So all I have to do is get the sale, and that's it. And then my virtual assistant does that all for me. And it's pretty much passive income for me because I don't really have to touch the process. So that is also a very powerful workflow for you to learn and implement into your business. And then lastly, there is an area that I'm always updating because the program includes live group coaching support calls. And so this area is called Live Support Calls, Coaching with Sarah. It's always updated with the recent coaching call so that if you miss it or you can't make it or you were on the hot seat for it and I coached you one-on-one, you can literally rewatch it to get re-inspired and reignited, and also feel less alone, learn from other students that have other questions. Like it's so powerful. Like community and coaching are really two pieces that can shift like improve your overall success so much. And that's why I really do believe in including it in the program, because I don't want you to just like buy an online program and then boom, you're alone working through it. I really want you to feel supported by other students and myself throughout the process, because a lot of the times there are just mental roadblocks and beliefs that are holding you back. And it's like impossible for you to even notice it. And sometimes someone else has to notice it for you. And then that's when everything shifts. And you're like, oh, that's why I felt blocked from outsourcing that or taking that action. Or maybe it's just a troubleshooting. Maybe it's like, why isn't this working for me how I wanted it to? And we help you troubleshoot it. So there is so much support in here for you. And of course, the program also comes with a Facebook community where all the OMIs hang out, ask questions, get support from me and other OMIs. So that's the rundown. That's the overall like quick breakdown of the program. And I also want to say, I know that you probably want to be learning about something more like fun and creative, like ways of shooting and creating art and all of that, right? Like instead of this sort of stuff. So I know it doesn't seem sexy or exciting to learn about this kind of stuff as a creative, but I promise you, if you just take the time to learn this as a foundational skill as a business owner, once you know it, you know it. You don't have to go back and relearn it and it's done. And I promise you, this is your gateway for you to actually have the time and space to be more creative and make more money at the same time. You don't have to be a starving artist. And the way I teach in OMI, I teach you in a way where you can actually take this knowledge into your forever business career. Because maybe in the future you'll switch maybe businesses. Maybe in 10, 15 years, you won't want to be a photographer, but you want to be a different business owner. This gives you that foundation to learn how to work less and make more, work smarter instead of harder. So it really is like one of the most important skills that you need in business that we were never taught, whether we went to school for photography or we are self-taught as photographers. We were just never taught how to delegate and how to have a team and how to have support. And for those of you that say, because I know a lot of you love like in-person learning. So for those of you that say learning in person is what you prefer and you don't really like online courses because maybe it's just like not as connective, or you can't be self-disciplined enough to go through it yourself. You know what I mean? If that's you and you're like, I don't really like online courses, I'd rather learn in person, then I challenge you lovingly. And I say this to you. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want a change in your life and business? Because I know that you won't find a comprehensive step-by-step program niched specifically for photographers that you can do in person of what I offer. So if this is your only option, I promise you that if you make the choice, and I say choice because everything you do in life is a choice. As you shift if you choose to shift your identity from being quote unquote someone who doesn't like to learn online, and if you shift from that identity to quote someone who will do whatever it takes to get to live their dream life that they want for themselves, then you'll find yourself actually energetically become more open and excited for the opportunity. Like you don't have to stay stuck in the identity that you think you are. You can choose to reinvent yourself and your thoughts if you want. And this is only if you want. This is if you want to do it. You know what I mean? So, okay. So again, let me take you through a little quick exercise. Like, so if you're like, oh, I don't like learning online, right? You're just like, I want you to say that to yourself right now, like in your head, out loud, like, I don't like learning online. It's just, no, I don't like it. How does that make you feel? Like, I personally, when I say it right now, it feels like a wall came up in front of me and I feel like a blocked energy and I feel limited. I feel limited as well, right? And now I want you to say and just experiment, just say it and like really feel it and just see how it would make you feel. Just experiment. So say, I am someone who will do whatever it takes to live the dream life I want for myself. I am someone who will do whatever it takes to live the dream life I want for myself. Okay, so when I say that, I feel uplifted. I feel inspired. I have goosebumps. I feel possibility, excitement. And I feel this feeling of like, give it to me. I can make it happen. Like, I can make anything I want happen. Right. So, see how that can affect your physiology, your energy, the way you're talking to yourself. You're either limiting yourself or you're creating a new like energetic space of possibility. So be very aware of that also when making this decision. And keep in mind, right, for those of you that love learning in person, it's most likely because you really appreciate the connection to others, right? You don't want to feel alone on this journey. So just remember that there is a community aspect for you in this program, in the OMI program. So you feel connected to other students that are on the same outsourcing journey as you are. So you never have to feel alone. And you'll also be connected with past OMI alumni that are even farther along on the journey as than you are. Like they've already had experience with it, and they can help you answer your questions and all of that. And you will also be supported live with me through live group coaching calls as well. So the beauty of it is that you will have that connection aspect. And the way I see it right now in this moment, you have two paths in front of you right now. So like imagine you're just like standing on a path, and to the right, you can choose to stay exactly where you are. You can choose to stay as the underpaid and overworked photographer and find yourself in the exact same position next year. So pretty much if you're visualizing this path you're standing on and you go to the right, that right path is actually like a circular path, and it actually will just lead you right back to where you are right now in this moment. Or you can go down a different path. You can go down path number 2, let's say to the left, right? You can choose the path that will literally catapult you to the lifestyle you desire, a lifestyle of more freedom to expand the quality of your life. It'll expand your well-being, your relationships, your lifestyle, your mind freedom, your peace within yourself, like literally anything you want. This is by design, right? So now if you picture yourself on this path, standing there, and you're looking at this crossroad, path to the right, path to the left. If you take the path to the left, you're going to go down a whole nother path of beautiful adventure, beautiful scenery, adventures, bigger than your dreams, bigger than you know that could be possible in your reality. And you're not going to come back to the spot that you are in right now. So that is the power of this program. And one thing I know to be so true is that us humans are resistant to change. It is a fact. I know for myself, especially, I'm a Cancer. So I am very sensitive to change. I get very emotional. I get like, I could easily dig my heels into the ground and be like, no, I don't want to. But I usually go through it and move through it if I know that on the other side, it's worth it and it's the expansion that I want. And change means letting go of the old, and that can feel scary and uncomfortable, right? But the only way to welcome in the new is to let go of the old. Like you have to let go of something to let in something new. So I'm here to give you a loving shake. Like literally, I just want to take your shoulders and smile at you at the same time and then shake you just to like wake you up to what is waiting for you on the other side of that fear. And just as you were scared to start your photography business, right? I'm pretty sure every single photographer is scared to do that. I was scared, right? You moved through it. Like you did it. Like look where you are right now. You made it happen for yourself. So what are you scared of really, right? If you want it bad enough, you won't let yourself down. I want you to bet on yourself. And let me ask you, have any of these thoughts crossed your mind before? So I'm going to list them out. So I need help in my business. I'm too busy. Maybe I should look into outsourcing. I'll cut down on how many bookings. Oh God. Okay. I'll cut down on how many bookings I take on. I hate working on this task. It's so boring. I feel so drained by my business. Why am I not making as much money as I want if I'm working so damn hard? So if any of these or all have popped through your head, that means that as soon as that thought crossed your mind, you knew in your gut that something felt off. And if you, and I mean, like, if you knew in that moment that something felt off, you could have already made a change either months or years ago, and you could have been way ahead of it now and been living that life that you wanted, making that change, right? But you didn't. And you didn't because you didn't know where to get started, and that felt overwhelming for you. So I'm here to take that overwhelm away from you and give you my step-by-step workflows. Literally, I'm just handing them all over to you. You don't have to figure them out. And again, it's the fast track for you because you don't have to go through 4 years of figuring it all out how I did. You don't have to go through the ups and downs and the failures and figuring it out and it not working. Like, yes, when you're starting something new, a new adventure, you're still going to experience like something not working here or there or being confused, right? But that's okay. That's just the learning curve. But it's not going to take you like as much time or as big failures because I've already learned all those lessons and I'm passing them on to you. So it's going to be so much more easier and quicker for you. And remember, if you don't change anything now, then when? When is it going to change? You have to make a decision now on that. Your daily habits right now are either leading you towards your dream life or further away from it every single day. And then before you know it, 10 years has passed, you've blinked, and it's all gone. That time is all gone, and you're not going to get it back. You're not going to get it back with all your favorite people, for the things that you wanted to do, the hobbies, the adventures you wanted to take in your life. It can be all gone in a flash. So you have to make a decision. You have to take today, right now, this moment, to make that decision on, do I want to go to the right and come back to where I've been and take a hike on a loop? Or do I want to go to the left and adventure to a new place of so much more possibility that I've never been to before? So please, please pay attention to where you are right now and update your daily habits, and it will pay off. And I want to be here to help you update those daily habits. And remember, if you put your mind to something, you can make it happen for yourself, just like you'd have with your photography business. So this is my invitation for you to join me and other fellow Omis on this path to more freedom in your life. I can't wait to support you along your journey. And I really mean that. It'll be an honor. And I really want to thank you in advance for trusting me, because I don't take this lightly. Like, it's people's quality of life that's at stake here. And I am committed to you and your freedom. And I'm so committed to you and your quality of life, your family life, your well-being, all of that. All of that is on the line. And that's what gets me so excited to show up for all of my OMI students every single day. So go to sarahmonica.com/freedom to sign up right now, get instant access, and start being supported by me and your other fellow OMI students. If you have any questions for me, please DM me at Sarah Monica Photo on Instagram. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K photo, and I'll make sure to answer them for you. And just as a reminder, doors are closing really soon. They're only open for this short period of time, and then they'll be closed for another whole year. So if you don't take advantage of this opportunity now, you'll find yourself in the same spot next year. And so, yeah, I really want to help you make this like a transformative year for you and your business and your family, right? Loved ones. That's what matters so much. So again, go to sarahmonica.com/freedom right now to sign up, or DM me with any questions. And sending you a big hug your way. And I'm reaching out for your hand, and I can't wait for you to just take my hand and I will help you along your journey. Let's take an amazing hike through amazing mountains and views that you've never seen before. I can't freaking wait. All right, bye. Yay! Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tuning into this episode. If you got value out of it, please feel free to message me on Instagram at Sarah Monica Photo. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K photo, to let me know. I get so freaking energized hearing from others that what I've said has had a positive impact on their lives. Also, make sure to hit subscribe to the Shine and Thrive podcast to never miss an episode. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you all the productive vibes your way so you have the best week ever.